podcast right now. Hello and welcome to Podcast Right Now. It's May 9th, 2021. It's Mother's Day, guys. Hello. On the pod this week, it's going to be me, John Michelle, the $1,000 dog, a.k.a. Chirp Truthfully, and also a very sober Joe Concerto. TV's JG, coming all the way from Blendon County. How. Yeah.
And there's Texas time.
Yep.
When you need to get a burrito. Yeah, nice whip around now.
Okay, Joe's with us. He's feeling good.
Joe, do jellicle cats.
Wow, the jellicle cats. Must be a jellicle ball is happening, and it must be time to get a burrito. Wow. These jellicle cats are so fine.
He is sober, though. He seemed sober in the pre-show.
I think so.
Yeah. Joe, you're good, right? You're with us?
You're with us?
How.
Yeah, he's just going to do the character now.
Yeah, he's playing into it. On the episode this week, some stuff on the menu. We're going to do some, of course, movie talk. We always tend to talk about the cinematic experiences of the last week. We got some movies to watch, some movies to avoid. We got a Kevin's poop water situation. He's got some poop water he wants to talk to us about. Also, a new VR game that we are too excited to break down and kind of share our first night playing, share our experience with it, called Demio.
That might end up being the whole episode.
I say possible.
Fuck a list and let's see what happens.
I'll tell you what, VR's come a long way. It used to be me that was like trying to shorten any kind of VR talk to 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and feel like a dick the entire time. And now Kevin wants to talk about a VR game.
I put on some 3D glasses, and then my next door neighbor would jack me off for $1. Remember those days?
Why did you wear the 3D glasses
for?
What?
Were you just
That's what he told me to do. And then pay him $1.
Did he give you anything that went with the glasses, though? Did you have a comic book or anything?
I had the Rocketeer comic book.
Okay.
You remember the classic Disney film, The Rocketeer?
Everyone
said,
does.
Look at this. And, yeah.
Was the Rocketeer like Iron Man or something?
No, he's just a guy that had
a guy with a jetpack.
Had a jetpack.
Nazis.
Had a cool helmet. Yeah.
Okay.
Mother's Day also happened today. We'll talk about some moms and why we value the moms, why we like the mommies. But yeah, let's get right into it. How's everyone doing? How you feeling? Joe, you're jacking your neighbor off in 3D glasses. Kevin,
do we value the moms though, or are they okay at best, or what's their situation?
Well, no,
we'll find out.
Yeah, we do.
Get into it.
I feel like there's a lot of undervalued moms though in the world. We value the moms that we know and love because they're our moms, but there's moms out in the world who are like raising up kids with no family at all, and you never hear them shout it out. So
yeah. And then I think there's some moms out there that are probably like just blowing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think most moms probably actually are bad.
Yeah.
Anytime you get a group bigger than like 10 people, it's going to be mostly bad. And so that's moms if you look at it, in the population. And then they probably are overvalued when you think about your own moms. Maybe they don't get enough enough scorn for all the things they did wrong because that's
Kevin, right now, are you buying or selling moms?
In this market, I don't know.
Sell.
Buying moms.
Oh, you're buying moms.
I think moms are moms are a good long-term hold. We're always going to need moms. So
moms aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a good mom. It's a complicated story, my mother and my family growing up, that we won't get into, but she gets good marks for doing something right, because me and my brothers and sister we're all buddies. I think 75% of us are pretty level-headed and, try to be kind, and, I don't know. I think she could have done a worse job. None of us are serial killers, or, we're not.
No, there's still time.
Well,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. Anything's possible.
You do have a very sweet mother,
very
to my
Italian.
knowledge. But both of you have a very sweet mother from what I've met. So good on you. I mean, you didn't choose it, but it happened, and now you have to deal with it. But it seems like it could have worked out worse for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll say that my mom, I think, was, she is. She's very, very sweet, very nice person. Maybe not as good at some of the logistic things about being a mom, but she I think she instilled in me the sense of like, nothing really is that important to kind of laugh a little bit at life. And I think that's something I value.
I like that.
It's close.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets in the way of, like trying to accomplish things, but I don't know. It makes it easier to get through my day, I think.
Oh yeah. I always have a disposition of like, if no one's bleeding, we can figure this out. You know what I mean? Like this is all manageable. As soon as spinal injuries or property damage gets involved, that's when my heart rate will increase and I'll start panicking or whatever. But
yeah, my mom has a very trippy approach to life. It's just kind of go with the flow, let the environment sort of dictate what will happen, but relax. It's all fine, and then we'll be dead eventually, and that's fine too.
Yep. Go back to the nether.
Sounds like the kind of the opposite of my mom's. Not demanding, but if things are not the right way, she'll probably let you know. This kind of brings me into a topic that we had, John. Not to cut you off, but
no, I'm going nowhere.
We were talking about our most expensive concert tickets that we purchased. I had just made mine. This is a Mother's Day purchase. I'm going to see the band Genesis. Have you heard of this troupe?
Yes, Phil Collins, right?
Phil Collins. Yes, they are coming to Columbus, Ohio in December. So for Genesis, possibly they're most likely.
Hold on, should we guess, and then you tell us who's closest?
Definitely guess.
Okay.
I'll tell you approximately where I'm sitting and what I paid for a ticket.
Okay.
I'll tell you it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. If that helps you or not, but it was at the Nationwide Arena.
Okay, I've been there.
It's not the top level. It's not the floor. It's like their middle bowl.
Okay.
It's an aisle seat as well. 2 tickets with fees. What did that cost?
Now, Kevin, something to consider is Joe has seen a lot of like classic rock bands. I know he's talked about Alice Cooper a couple times. And he's saying this is his most expensive ticket ever.
Okay.
So just something to consider.
Is Genesis. Did we say, was there a special guest? What do we have?
It's Genesis's first time in 14 years of touring North America. They're probably not going to be touring again because Phil Collins is 70. He is injured as fuck. He's probably going to be sitting for most of the thing. And his son is going to be on drums.
All right. So 2 seats, middle tier in the arena, aisle seats.
Yep, looking pretty dead on to the stage.
Okay. And let's guess a single ticket price.
A single ticket price, no fees or with fees?
He's got the fees too. Someone's gonna have to divide by 2 if we do per ticket.
Give me the whole thing. 2 tickets with Ticketmaster fees. Give me the whole all-in price.
His subtotal, 2 tickets. What did that cost?
Okay. I don't mind going first.
With taxes as well.
I'll throw out.
We're committing to a number. I'm just going to commit to a number, whatever you say. So I've got mine locked.
Okay. I will say 2 tickets, including fees, $500.
Okay.
I was going to say. Sorry. I was going to say $850.
Okay. Luckily, it was a little better than both of those. It was $410 for the 2 of them, but So that was the pre-sale price. You had to get a text from Ticketmaster and log into a pre-sale, and then the general sale. All those tickets have since gone up by $100 a piece.
Oof.
Yeah.
Genesis.
So John wins. Do you guys like Genesis at all?
I like the hits for sure. I haven't. I can't say I've listened to an entire album or any B-side stuff, but
they're one that's kind of like you just would sit down and listen to an album, and then there are definitely, especially in the later years, singles you could pick out and be like, "Oh, that's on the radio." I guess more and more as Phil Collins got popular and just the world evolved, they did become more. But earlier stuff is more just let's put on the album and chill out and smoke a joint, smoke a marijuana.
There you go. I think you're supposed to call it cannabis. Marijuana has some racial attachments to it.
But this was my most expensive concert ticket I've ever purchased. I think prior to that, it was probably hovering around $100 for Tool.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think about expensive concert tickets? Do you remember what you've paid for them and what it was?
The most expensive concert tickets we got was me and my wife, and we went to see Queen featuring Adam Lambert at Nationwide Arena. Schottenstein? Nationwide.
It was Nationwide.
It was Nationwide. And I think that was similar. I think that was right around $400. I wasn't thrilled about it. I mean, the show was good and everything, but you guys know me. I'm a $30, $40 concert ticket kind of guy. Like, I think that's why I like bands that are just not. Like, when you ask someone, hey, who's your favorite band? I would be like, RX Bandits, maybe Coheed and Cambria, maybe Presidents of the United States of America. Like, those are bands that I really like. And you know, my wife's the opposite. It's like, oh, who's your favorite band? Oh, it's like David Bowie, Queen, just like
you're not
world-changing rock bands. Anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin, what about you? What's the most you've spent on a rock and roll music experience?
I haven't spent that much on a show I actually went to. I bought Morrissey tickets for last summer. We're going to be, me, Chad, and Lance, we're going to be in Vegas playing like a small World Series event.
Okay.
So I bought those, but ended up getting refunded, and I think they were about $200 a ticket. So like 3 tickets, $700 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a senior in high school, my girlfriend got me Prince tickets, and those were probably pretty expensive.
Wow. Prince,
was that
wow.
2003 or
2004? Yeah.
Did you guys hear he died?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
That was a show that I wanted to go to, but I didn't know anyone that liked Prince, so we could have gone together, Kevin.
Oh, it was no. We were elsewhere. We went to Philadelphia and made a whole weekend out of it.
Oh, that's fun.
It was a really nice
too. So
really nice trip that she just kind of set up, and
that's crazy. That's like an adult. That's in
high school.
Yeah, that's an adult trip.
Spoiled
concert.
Me.
Yeah, that's insane, man. That's like the movie Blank Check or something. It's crazy. That was what was her first and last name?
Do you still have her number?
Measurements.
I don't know if I should dox her.
Yeah, never mind. Don't answer that. Yeah, expensive concerts. I like going to places to see a show that the stage is like 2 or 3 feet off the ground. I saw Dick Dale a couple times like that, really small venues. I don't know. I like the intimate setting versus the 20,000 people in an arena. Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, we still got time. We can do an intimate setting with the band Buck Cherry pretty soon in Columbus, Ohio.
I just pictured all the other people that would be there, and I don't want to go. It
would basically be like somebody's going to finger bang you.
I can picture the parking lot. You know what I mean? Lots of Dodge Chargers, lots of those Jeep trucks, lots of just small dick cars. You know what I mean? Like that are really loud. Like, hey, look at my badass car. Would you like to date me? I promise I have an average or above average sized penis.
I bet someone in that parking lot has a bumper sticker that says that I eat ass.
Yeah.
Kevin, you should come to this concert if you know what I'm saying.
You think I eat ass? Is that?
I think you have a bumper sticker that might suggest that you may.
Crazy Bitch actually came on the radio yesterday when I was driving with Allison, and I wanted to listen to it, and she looked at me and she was like, "Really?" So we ended up not listening to it. And
this is why it's important to have a level-headed woman in your life. Okay, she was absolutely dead on right.
You're going to seek your vengeance by going to this concert and eating all the ass you can.
No, that's a funny song.
It's got. Some people don't
some
think
like
it's
karaoke memories for me too. So like doesn't Richard Cheese does a version of that too?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a funny song. You just have to have some kind of context other than a guy with a I eat ass bumper sticker.
Well, and that's the problem is the people that like that kind of shit. It's not a funny song to them. It's a badass song to them.
Well, it's kind of both.
Can't it be both? Yeah,
I don't think it is. No.
I bet Barack Obama would have an I eat ass bumper sticker if he were not the president.
Do you think Barack Obama eats ass?
Yeah, of course.
Butt stuff with Barack. I don't know.
But Barack Obama.
I would say not. I feel like that's kind of a savage thing to be into. Like you could say like you've done it before, like on New Year's or something, but you're not like. That's not.
You're supposed to try it when you're a kid.
I'll bet it's a whiskey Barack move.
A whiskey? Oh, okay. He's got a nice little single malt, and he's going down for some.
He's had 3 fingers, malts. And he says, "Hey, Michelle, come over here."
Oh, and then he puts 3 fingers in Michelle. No. Let's move on. Mother's Day happened. We talked about that already. I know.
Ow.
There he goes. Eating
ass. I've got another Mother's Day kind of story. My little sister prepared a feast. So we had like some roast beef, and that was really the best part of it. But she made like coffee cake and this lentil and rice salad. And fancy food for all the mothers, and then we drank mimosas and had a feast.
How nice!
The roast beef.
How nice!
And then I took sorry, go ahead.
Is she taking any of you to Genesis?
No,
I'm a better son then.
She hasn't told us, but I don't think she's taking us to Genesis.
We got my mom a big gift card for it was either Bed Bath & Beyond or Body Works. Bed Bath & Beyond Body Works or something. And I called her today. I mean, I think that's the big one. Just you got to call the mom and you got to catch up and talk for a little bit. And she was happy just for that. I thought it was we didn't have plans to get together, but I thought there was a chance that would happen today, and so it didn't. And I was kind of okay with that, not driving across the state in a downpour and seeing her. But she partied with friends last night. I think she was a little hung.
That's good.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention I saw my mom. My mom is in town right now.
There you go.
So she was at the brunch with all the moms.
Yeah. And then I live with a mom. I married a mom. So
you made a mom.
I made her the mom, and then I married her several years later. And she, I think she had a good day. I don't know her.
Are you taking her to Genesis?
No. She doesn't deserve Genesis.
Okay.
Maybe Phil Collins. No, I made a giant breakfast today, like all the breakfast things. We had eggs and the pancakes and the sausage and the toasts and so we had a nice big like brunch type breakfast type thing. And
what kind of pancakes are you doing right now?
Just your standard. We just do standard, and then I cut up some strawberries, put them bitches on top, a little bit of.
Okay.
Kevin, I have started buying real maple syrup, so I think you would appreciate that. Yeah. And then my kids had all kinds of really sweet things to give her, and it really just melts your heart when you see some of the stuff they write out. What was it? My 5-year-old had, kind of a card that her class had worked on, and in print, it's like my favorite thing about my mom is ... and then they kind of ask the kid and help them like write in what their answer is. And my 5-year-old's answer was, my favorite thing about my mom is she lets me eat Easter candy. I thought that was really cute. And then
does your older child know that this Easter candy is going on? Is this a secret exchange?
I don't know. No, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And then they made like a cute like coffee mug and did some art on it, and it was really cute. And then my 9-year-old has this big card, and it's real pretty. It's got all these cute little my heart blooms for mom, and it's got this fun little like kind of like flower design in a flower pot. And then on the inside it says, "My heart blooms for you, dear mom. Thank you for being with me ever since I was born. Thank you for always playing with me when I get bored. Thank you for making the best meals. That's why I love you, Mom." It's really cute.
That's the 9-year-old?
That's the 9er, yeah.
Yeah, that's a much more polished response.
Yeah.
I think if I were a mom, I would have mixed feelings about my 5-year-old telling me that their favorite thing was that I let them eat Easter candy.
I picture the conversation going like, come on, is there anything? You can't think of anything that you would want to write to? She's sitting there, oh, you know what? She does let me eat Easter candy.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to say nothing, but no, I think that's a normal response for a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Still, hard to hear that as a mom where you're like, yeah, I mean, just giving birth alone, even if you never did another thing, you would want to be acknowledged for something bigger than Easter candy.
Yeah. I did a toast at our little brunch, and as a family, like we don't pray, so I find reasons to do like toasts and just kind of like, hey guys, let's all put our hands in the middle and just be like and say thankful on 3 or something. Just some kind of
good policy.
Let's bring it together. Let's remember that we're really lucky to have each other and have food and be where we're at and all this stuff. And
did you stand and plank, or what was your move on that? How to gather people's attention to you?
I pop up and I say, guys, let's do a little cheers for Mama here, and
clink.
Yeah, we clink.
Okay.
And we weren't, we didn't have any mimosas.
You clink. No, but yeah, you cheers each other, but you don't clink on the glass. You don't do a.
Oh no, I don't do that. No,
I just mean to gather attention. Like, hey, guys, come on.
I mean, there's only 4 of us, so I just kind of raise my voice.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I kind of
probably just do it.
Yeah, I mean, they all kind of go off of my cues anyway, just throughout the day. So it's
John,
I'm in full control.
Did your daughters get your wife Genesis tickets?
No.
What pieces of shit?
Yeah. They are along for the free ride. They want the Easter candy, and they're out.
Do they know this is probably Phil Collins' last tour with Genesis?
I don't know that they knew that, and they really like the Disney movie Tarzan. So,
well, he won't be playing. That's Phil Collins' solo. He won't be playing any of those tracks. So,
I wanna know. Will you show me? What's the biggest Genesis song? Susiendo?
There's a lot of them. Studio is a Phil Collins song.
Yeah.
And then Abacab is kind of similar. That's a Genesis song. And then there's also
Keep going.
You have the invisible touch, yeah.
Yes. Okay, I know that one.
Can't we agree that Phil Collins was way bigger than Genesis ever was, though?
Yeah. I like Phil Collins, though.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
I think in a way, yeah. Phil Collins' solo is equal to, or if not bigger than Genesis.
Does he not do his solo stuff?
I think he did tour that more recently than Genesis.
I mean, if I were Phil Collins and I was doing a Genesis tour, I would have some Phil Collins songs.
Yeah, why not? You have all the stuff plugged in.
I don't think it works that way.
Really?
I mean,
yeah, but people are chanting, I would be pissed if I didn't get in the air tonight.
If I paid a couple $100 for a ticket and couldn't hear the best songs Phil Collins made.
I feel like that's an encore. You think you go through the whole thing, and then at the very end, one more song. They come out and they do like 3 Phil Collins songs, and then it's like good night, and everyone blows their load.
Because the deal is that there are that many better Genesis songs to be played for encore of a Genesis performance that you wouldn't encroach onto Phil Collins territory.
Disagree.
I'll have to trust you here because I don't know that many Genesis.
You guys
songs.
are in the land of confusion right now. Like I said.
That's a Phil Collins song.
Joe, you don't agree that Phil Collins did his best work as Phil Collins?
I think it depends on what you're in the mood for. They're different works. Yes, if you choose a song to listen to, it's probably going to be a Phil Collins song. If you choose an album to listen to, it's going to be a Genesis album.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. Collins does the hits, Genesis front to back. I like it.
Yep.
So you're saying we should just sort of take Phil Collins at face value?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you can just say that. No fancy dress, no jacket required.
Yeah. Okay. Tarzan. Can we talk about Demio now, or do we have to wait longer?
No, I think we should. Yeah, we should get into it.
Brother Joel, the Super Shark, was thinking about.
We should actually quit doing the podcast right now so we can play Demio.
Play it, yeah. Anyways, we had a. Where did I see it? It kind of came out of the blue. It's a new virtual reality game, and Kevin is now a Quest 2 owner, and so am I. I had the original Rift for a while there, and Joe, this headset would really work out well for you too, because it doesn't require a big gaming PC or $1,000 computer. So if you don't have a computer, this is like such an easy way to get into VR. The Quest 2. The studio is Resolution is the name of the studio, and they've done a handful of really good and kind of cleverly designed VR games. So this isn't their first VR project by any stretch. I'm looking at their list of games here. Carly and the Reaper Man, Blastin', the Angry Birds games, they did those in VR. Akron is another one that had some strong reviews. And so their latest game is Demio, and this is basically like a tabletop game that is, you could closely compare it to Dungeons and Dragons, minus having to have a dungeon master. The game kind of serves that role. I don't know, Kevin, we tried it. Last night was the first time we all got in, and of course we said 10 p.m. and it wasn't until like 11 that I think we had everyone in the room and kids were put down, and
we had two Egberts in the party, so we knew it wasn't going to be 10.
Hey, I was right there. I was on time, but I saw this game on just out of nowhere on subreddit, on some of the VR podcasts I listened to, and I was like, well, this all sounds really positive. I should check this out. I don't typically play, deck building games, or I'm like a light RPG fan in general. I'm more of like the shooter guy or action adventure games. And this one, it's just, I fell in love. I mean, I was worried I was going to get it and then realize, oh yeah, I don't like these kind of games. I don't play Slay the Spire, I don't play Gwent or Monster Train or any of those games, and I was a little worried because it's $30, and that's cheap if you're used to the $60 model of modern games. Now $70 on the PlayStation 5 or whatever. But I got
a quick question about buying games in VR.
Yeah,
because they have a stated pretty generous return policy on apps, but I haven't tried to use it, so I'm not sure. How it actually works, if they're cool about it. Is it no questions asked? Can you do it several times in a month?
It follows the same rule as Steam, where it's if you're around 2 hours of playtime, you can still return it. If you go much longer than that, but state your case, they'll probably be cool with it. And then of course, if you do it if you treat it like a demo service, like you're just sort of buying every game and then returning the ones that you're not into, that I don't think they'll go for that. But it's a case by case.
You have returned apps before?
I haven't, but I've seen from the community that it's that people do it all the time, and it's not a big deal. And the idea is, like, you get a VR game, and because of the way the game is developed or the type of game that it is, it can make you sick. You know, like, I know you had an issue at the beginning with the smooth locomotion and smooth turning of some shooters. If you're not used to that and you get sick and you physically can't play it without getting motion sickness, then they're a little more lenient than I think they are with regular games.
I should have returned Drunken Bar Fight. That thing is kind of an abortion. Really uncomfortable locomotion style or whatever in that game.
With Demio, the other thing that I noticed right out of the gate was the level of polish on the game. So I bought more than a handful of games where I'll find them on sale, you know, so it's $5 or $6. I'm like, let's just get this game and try it out. And then what I do is I try it out, and I realize as I'm like in the first hour of it, you know, I'm never going to play this game again. I spent this money, and this is like a one-time try it out fun thing, and maybe I'll hold on to it to show other people if they want to try something specific. But with this game, right out of the gate, I was like, it was the first game in a while that I played specific to VR where I was like, someone gave a shit about this game. Someone was passionate about this project. Someone respects the user, and it was just a, you know, cool music, good art design and character design, good voice acting and fun little one-liners that the characters shout out. Just all those little things add up into what feels like a polished experience, in my opinion. And this had it, and it's only a couple days, you know, since it's been out, so I'm sure they're going to continue to polish and fix bugs, which we ran into one on our first night, but kind of a game-breaking bug. But we were having so much fun that it did not sting to just, all right, well, let's all back out and start over. Or I think we all forced.
We didn't back out.
Yeah, we didn't back out. We died on purpose. Yeah,
it was a smart move.
But D&D and VR. It's you and three friends all around a table in what looks like kind of an 80s style basement, and
it's the basement from Stranger Things.
Yeah, basically. And you can zoom in to the board. There's only one module that's out right now, and I believe it's like called the Goblin's sarcophagus. Does that sound right? Something like that.
The Black Sarcophagus.
The Black Sarcophagus. And
Goblin on the cover.
And this is the first book, the first module, and it's 3 boards. And when I say a board, I mean a new level that you enter into. You choose your class. They have a sort of an archer role. They have a wizard. There is like a heavy tank type knight, and then there is also a Kevin, your character that you used last night, sort of like a cool, sneaky stealth assassin. And to complete the 3 boards, if you're on it and you are just focused on getting through it and you're good and you have a good crew, I think you can do it in like an hour and a half or 2 hours. But we ended up playing our first night, I think, and we didn't beat it, and we did kind of like 2 runs on it, but I think we played 5 or 6 hours. Yep. We started sometime around 11, and then I think we got off around 5 o'clock in the morning, and it hurt to get off. I didn't want to stop playing.
Yep. Yeah, definitely one of those, I can't not go to bed. But I would like to, if it weren't Mother's Day, I would have stayed up until 7 a.m.
and just said, fuck it, right? And I'm sleeping until 3 tomorrow. Here we go. Yep. I've been talking forever. Kevin, first impressions, or any stories from last night? What do you got?
Yeah, I would say, well, we got to hear from Joe on this, because I know he's got the experience. The gameplay is basically like with your class, you get 2 actions per turn, and so that's usually like moving a certain distance or playing. You have you have cards, and you can choose like some actions that sort of refresh every couple of turns. So like for the rogue, going stealth was my refreshable action, and I could do that basically. I could sneak around, and then you do an action, an attack, or whatever. You come out of stealth. I was experiencing I had to be non-stealth for like one turn at a time, and then you can go stealth for 3 and move about. So yeah, it was just super fun. Like you said, it's a tabletop game, so there's the point of view or whatever is you sitting around a table, and I don't know if it comes across how much like that is still a fun way to play video games. It's like we were in a room playing that game last night.
Yeah, and
it's me and you and 2 of our friends who live in different time zones. So that like ability is pretty cool. And yeah, we were giggling real hard. We got very fixated on the collection of gold in one of our runs. When the game had basically broken at that point, you need a key to move on to the next board. We had gotten the key and like cleared out most of the board, and then I think like I went to the bathroom or something, and I came back and the key was gone, and we couldn't figure out how to make the key come back. So we dicked around for another hour after that, I would say, just like sort of collecting gold and slinking our way around the map. Yeah, what else? I don't know. Just I don't have any D&D background, so I'm curious how long this game takes to play versus like a normal sort of campaign in that. But yeah, I'm hooked. Like it's going to be a problem this week. Not wanting to go to bed on weeknights. Yeah.
And yeah, no, I think I'm gonna sneak anytime I can and put that headset on and get in. Actually, right before we got on Discord for this podcast tonight, you were in headset and playing with some randos, and I heard a child's voice and I heard a man's voice, and then I heard you. I think I would guess your voice is kind of somewhere in between that. Joe, you have a lot of D&D hours log. I've only played D&D I think like one time, maybe twice, and it was I was 20, you know what I mean? It was a long time ago.
I wouldn't say I have a lot of hours logged, but I have played as recently as last night in an IRL game.
I think it's so funny that you were playing D&D last night while we were doing this kind of same thing, but virtually,
So I think definitely the advantages of IRL would be that you have your people you can play in game with, and then obviously out of the game you're drinking a beer, high five, and everything. But then also seems like just so much more instant adaptability. So we went into a room last night where one of our characters is Dr. Richard Kimball. He's on the run from the law.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, and he's 50 years old. That's his whole thing. And he saw that there was a fight scene going on. There was a fight pit for old people, and he decided, I'm going to jump in. And
who was your dungeon master?
My future brother-in-law was our dungeon master.
Nice.
So yeah, so that, I guess that's the obvious disadvantage, that he's got to plan all this, and then this is like the second time that our friend Adam Smith has disrupted things by like going way out of the plan thing. Like he's able to roll for what the ogre is fighting him, but it's it takes us out of the campaign, obviously.
Okay.
There was another time where we were supposed to retrieve a gold mask, and we retrieved it, and then he immediately threw it into a fire because it was like haunted, and that wasn't accounted for. So that was like once he did that, he rolled and he threw it in the fire, and then smoke break right now. So the game was paused because
he wanted to smoke.
Well, no. The DM was like, okay, I didn't really anticipate that happening. Let's go pause this. We kind of wanted you to have the mask, but I see where you're coming from with why you would throw that mask in there, because it's haunted. So yeah, there's just a lot of adaptability on the fly, and people can. But yeah, the camaraderie IRL is kind of the funnest part. Like just eating some food and having these stories together.
Well, I think the cool thing about this game compared to what you're talking about, that being a big that would definitely go on the pros list of playing IRL, is the camaraderie and being able to look someone in the eye. Is VR it's got a ways to go, right? But like some lifelike avatars would have been really cool. Full body tracking or something like that of you, that would be cooler than just a floating mask and a pair of floating hands. But kind of like when we play the Walkabout mini golf game that we also really like in VR, and we play mainly for the social experience. This is kind of scratching both itches, where it does the game is fun. I really enjoy the game. I like the systems that they have. I get excited when it's my turn and I'm looking at my cards and I weigh my options, and then I discuss that with the group. How could my turn be best used for the group? But then it also really hits the social thing too, where we can take a minute in between turns and chat and kind of look around at each other. And I mean, I was to the point where we were giggling and cracking up about the whole get the gold thing that we were doing. But I mean, it was like the only thing that was missing was me being able to, slap somebody in the arm while I'm cracking up, or, but I was, well, and I like that about a lot of social VR games, is that the way it's stored in my memory was like, oh yeah, we were all kind of like hanging out in a basement together, and not that I was in my office, sitting in an office chair with, trying to find my beer blindly, reaching over to the desk. Oh, there it is. I found it, So it's strong on both fronts, is I guess all I'm saying. But, yeah, I don't know if you have VR, if you have the Quest, or if you have a PC VR headset, it's on Steam as well. The game is called Demeo, Demeo, and can't recommend it enough. There's a solo mode if you don't got buddies to play with, and then enemies and difficulty scales to how many people you have playing. But I would recommend filling it up, getting all 4 people in there.
Probably the hardest part about playing Dungeons and Dragons IRL is finding somebody who's willing to DM and
it's a creative, skilled.
Yeah, so they not only have to tell the story, they have to assign who's going to be the baddies that you're going to fight, how much HP do they have compared to your level. Let's make that fair.
Yeah.
And then if somebody throws you a curveball, what do you do then?
Yeah. I mean, this is a game in VR that I haven't seen. I mean, obviously I'm not looking for it because I already kind of mentioned that that's not really my genre, but I haven't seen anything, in my peripheral or anything of anything having this level of success. I think they sold, I think they cleared 500,000 on the first night and had a 24-hour period of 63 or 70% retention of people playing. So people are liking it. It's getting great reviews. And I don't know, man. I'm always looking for reasons to get people stoked about VR because I'm into it and I want my buddies to be into it. And it's just great to have something pay off and it not feel like a gimmick. It feel like, oh, hey, this is fun, and you guys agree that it's fun on your own volition. This isn't me shoving it down your throat. This is when do we get to play again? Because I need that to happen soon.
I remember when you brought the VR over to my house and Kevin watched all that porno on there. You're like, don't watch all that porno, and then sure enough, he's in here jacking off and watching the VR porn.
Yeah, the porn in VR is it's not for the faint-hearted. I will say that.
You see a lot of assholes in there.
Well, you see the same amount. It's just it's all super 3D. It's weird.
Porn in VR is not a disappointment. No. if you kind of picture what the what the value add of the VR experience can be. I mean, it's not just like looking at it on a web browser.
No,
it feels a little different.
So when you say what the value add is, that how does that tangibly track to what the affordability is of the headset versus the value out of the porn?
Listen, I've had a headset for a few months. I haven't used mine to look at porn yet.
That's a good boy.
So, and I don't really want to. I was extra curious on that day, I guess, about it's a new technology. I've got 5 minutes. How can I get acquainted with this? I want to see what porn does.
Yeah. Head on over to Casting Couch and see what that looks like in 3D.
Yeah, I just meant value add, in terms of how the experience can be different from looking at, just a regular PC.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about value, porn is one of them if you're a real sleaze bucket. Most of us are, but you can watch movies in there. You can watch, you can play games, and then again, the social aspect can't be understated. Especially, and I have to assume some of the recent success of Facebook's Quest 2 headset is you have to look at the pandemic and the state the world has been in the last year, where all we've been told is to stay home and that's the best, safest thing to do. And people are now working from home, and this is a great way to connect with people that they're not. Yeah, you just need people.
2020 was a good year for VR.
It was a good year for video games. It was a good year for a bunch of new technologies where you could
DoorDash.
Yeah, Zoom. It
was a very good year for DoorDash.
Yeah, DoorDash. Bad year for Uber, unfortunately. You got to try it out. We were giggling. My wife would come in and she was just I was trying to explain I told her get the gold story today. So Kevin explained the glitch with the key, and it was just, I was like, it changed my priority in the game, since I knew we were also going to be quitting out soon too. There were enemies I should have been dealing with, teammates I should have been using my 2 turns to, heal up or something. But I wasn't worried about any of that. I wanted the gold. And
you had one turn where there's a card. It's a pretty powerful card, and it's scarce. And it teleports you to any tile anywhere on the map.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good card. You had one turn where you teleported all the way across the map to pick up a pile of gold, and then you teleported back to an area where people already were to pick up a different pile of gold.
Yeah, that was probably the highlight. And that was I had 2 of those ultra rare cards, and they didn't know I had them, and I'm sitting there and everybody's kind of waiting. What should we do? What do we know about this key? Maybe an enemy has the key and it's in one of the darkened areas of the map where there aren't any players. So we should continue to explore. And it was okay, I could heal John, or I could, you know what, guys? I know what I'm going to do. And then my player just levitates off the board, and then there's bluish, magic sparkles. Yeah. Sound effect. And I just cruise across the top, and I'm and then I stop above some gold, and I'm I'm going to get the gold. And I just lower down, and then after all that, we're all in tears. And I'm then I rise up again and teleport back. It was so stupid. It's kind of one of those, you had to be, it's probably not funny just hearing the story, but you had to be there kind of things. But, I don't know. It's just a testament to the technology and the presence, the sense of presence, where you don't get those kind of laughs playing video games. We do, because I think we got a pretty goofy crew and we know how to have a good time. But VR, man, it just puts another layer over it all. Where my brother was talking about how he had dreams about VR. I've had dreams about VR. The way my brain stores those memories are, we're in the same room hanging out, that kind of thing. Just the shared experiences. I think there's a lot there, and it's still just baby shoes right now. I can't wait to see where it goes in 5-10 years. I think we were talking about that last night as we were playing. Man, what does this game look like in 5 years? Because this is going to be, no one's stopping this technology. It's here to stay.
You're going to have to wear a diaper. In
Probably.
5 years, you're going to be pissing or coming or shitting. Something's going to happen to your bodily functions.
Yeah,
I don't think you should ever be coming in a diaper.
I mean, if you've already got the diaper on, you might as well come. Right?
Never thought that.
Yeah.
If it's already there, if you're already like, something might release for me, I might as well just,
So, Joe, what is are you telling us about your D&D character? Are you Dr. Richard Kimball?
No, I'm not. That's our good friend Adam Smith.
Right.
Is Dr. Richard Kimball. I am.
He just did a Peter Pan right off of that pipe or whatever. What is the line?
Yeah, no. He is trying to avenge the loss of his wife Helen, and yeah, he decided to get into a fight pit. I'm a half-orc paladin character. I grew up in a cult, and they sacrificed people. And I decided once they called my number, hey, this is no good. I have to kill my entire family. So I killed them, but now I see that there are some surviving members who are still after me. So that's my deal.
So are you a paladin? I just know from World of Warcraft. Are you like a tank that heals?
Yes, and I'm also kind of a hypochondriac. So I'm a tank, and I also beg my teammates to heal me at any given moment.
I like it.
Okay.
With all of us having having our vaccinations, we should join you guys on this D&D night if there's room for a couple more. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, there could be. Although we're talking about actually getting. So our DM is kind of burned out. So he's talking about switching up to a different game now.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, it really does take a lot for him to write the stories and
can you
do the things. Yep.
I mean, are there DMs online? Can you just pay for somebody to host you?
That would be cool.
Wrote it, and
I mean, you can pay for anything if you're willing to pay a pretty price for it. But I don't know about that specifically.
That's true.
But if you were a DM, couldn't you do this and just write it once and then do it for different groups and charge whatever $100, whatever it would take for? I think this is a good idea for anyone who's a DM.
Not necessarily, because I think you kind of do want to tailor your quest to Richard Kimball. So people know that Richard Kimball is wanted, and he did just shave his beard, but people still recognize him.
Yeah.
So you kind of want to focus on that, and then for my character, there was graffiti that was looking for me, and I had to ask who wrote that, and
that's funny. I love a good DM. We had a good DM the time I played, and it added so much to it. It's like a little bit of choose your own adventure, theater or something. Mm-hmm. But it does take a strange mind to do it right, You got to be a dorky, creative type, I think.
You get all these fun NPCs in here that you can kind of figure out what to do with. If you want to harass the inn owner or kill them, or what the risk reward is there for. It's good.
Yeah. Good stuff, yeah. Lots of fun playing games. Kevin, do you want to talk about your poop water?
I can, yeah.
I'm very interested to hear about this poop water.
Yeah, so I live in a duplex near campus, which
like a pooplex.
They're older buildings, right? So they have I've got I don't know what you would call my basement, not finished, not I don't even know if it's dry. What is a dry basement? Anyway, it's dusty down there.
It's just a basement. Yeah, I mean it's like a regular basement is like a non-finished basement.
It's wetter. It's wetter and older than a normal basement. When it rains, we have a floor drain, and the floor is wet when it rains in my basement. So it was a few weeks ago now. We had a clog or whatever in the floor drain, and just a little constant poop smell happening in our house. And we were burning candles, and it wasn't overpowering, but you would walk in the door and notice a poop smell.
Yeah.
And so a week or so ago, my landlord finally gets around to trying to fix the poop smell. And so he snaked it first, he snaked it, but that didn't fix it. So he had to call one of his friends out, and his friend shows up with this big machine, and basically looks at our stairs, which are rickety old basement stairs, and says, I can't do this. I'm not, it's not safe. My machine's not going to make it down. I'm not going to make it down. So all this time, more days are passing, and it all just smells like poop.
More poop.
So then he had Roto-Rooter come out and jet it, which I guess they just shoot, super high powered like water through the pipe and try to dislodge it. And they were here all day Thursday, and trying to fix that. The guy was sweaty and seemed uncomfortable in his own skin. He asked me to sign the invoice, and I was like, "Wait a minute, am I signing it?" He's like, "You own the place?" And I'm like, "No, it's my landlord." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, you must know that. He must have, I don't know. And so they left. Poop smell still not
likely
solved.
you didn't just assign him a New Jersey accent. Hey, you own the plate. You gave him like a Midwestern accent.
Yeah. Well, it was a black man, and I was afraid to do too realistic of what his actual accent was.
Whoa.
So I just gave him a newscast, Midwestern type accent.
Man, it smells like shit in here. It just comes in.
Is that the Chris Tucker version?
Yeah. Do you understand the water that are coming out of these pipes?
So yeah, they didn't fix it, and my landlord had to come back, and he says that they actually blew a hole in the side, and they've ruined, they've done more damage than good.
Oh no.
So then I had to spend all day Friday and Saturday in my basement, basically digging up parts of the concrete floor.
Why are you fucking with this? Why are you doing this?
He had to do it.
I thought you said you were down there digging. Okay, I'm sorry.
I was not doing anything, but it was a major enough undertaking that we couldn't flush a toilet or run a sink at our house for a day and a half.
It would add to your basement if you did,
Sure. So we had to do a little mini hotel vacation at my little sister's house, which was fun.
Yeah.
And and then we got back, and it didn't smell like poop so much.
You know what happens with these old pipes is you get a lot of roots that break into these copper or these clay pipes or whatever they use, these cement pipes, and they wreak havoc. We had a similar issue a couple years back, and typically they'll send a big blade down there to kind of cut things out. But do you know anything about how they finally resolved it and cleared your poop chute?
So the Roto-Rooter guys said they were bringing up roots as well as flushable wipes that maybe are flushable in newer systems, but probably not a good idea here. We don't use them either, so it's been we're going back to find the source of this clog.
An auger.
So he said
that's the term, and I own an auger as well. Ramrod in the chat is kind of. I think he might know more about this than us, but go on.
Ramrod should. It sounds like he knows pipes, right?
Yeah, he's ramming that rod down there, getting it done.
Did you feel like you were ambushed by this whole situation?
Me? No. No, it was one of those just are you kidding type of things, because it was the first thing we just thought is we were dealing with a poop smell that he was being very slow to react to.
Yeah.
And then
did you guys start by blaming each other for the poop smell? Come on, that was you, right?
Have you showered today, Kevin? Your balls smell like shit.
No.
Okay.
No, we know. We take care of each other. We don't blame each other for poop smells like that.
When you dipped your balls in her face, she said, This does not smell like poop. It smells like your normal good scent."
It smells like that tree that I see that's over in the park or whatever, that white tree.
We weren't even we didn't even investigate that road because we didn't think there was any suspicion that it was coming from my balls.
They're both clean, and they know it was from the basement.
You didn't just dip your balls in her face to explore the situation and.
What are you doing?
Come
Joe?
on, be honest. Is this me? We're going to be married soon. You gotta be.
What are you doing, Joe? Come on, man.
I would know. I would be closer to the situation. I would know if it was coming from my balls. It wasn't.
No, you get nose blind sometimes, my friend. Sometimes you just gotta dip your balls in a lady's face, and if the smells, she'll be if she loves you, she'll come back and say, "Thank you, dip them in chocolate." And if it's not meant to be true, then she'll say, "My God, you smell like shit."
Yeah, you gotta set your balls free, and if they come back, then
you got it.
That's exactly what I just said. Yeah,
That's exactly what I just said.
No, I mean, we had the whole other explanation of why it smelled like poop.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
didn't factor into our possible. Yeah.
Did my scenario happen to your life previously, though?
No, I mean there probably has been one time where I made a mess and wiped a little haphazardly, and a little bit of poop ended up on the back of my balls. I'm not saying it's never happened, but I wouldn't I wouldn't then drop them in someone's face unless I was playing the prank where they were I wouldn't do it because I was unclear. Hey, does this smell like poop?
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
It wasn't Kevin's basement; it was the house's basement.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And they both were clear pretty confident about that. Yeah. Kevin keeps a clean sack down there. Don't worry.
So yeah, I think you asked what they ended up doing.
You said they pulled roots out, and yeah.
So I think if I had to guess, what he did eventually was to locate the clog in the pipe, and then I think he was cutting into the floor to actually remove that part of the pipe and replace it. I don't know that for sure, but the house smelled like pipe glue too. When we got back, we had to air it out real good.
Now, was this actually pipe glue, or was this the guy's balls that he put on your girlfriend's face?
I mean, she was with me the whole time, so I doubt it was that. But I guess I can't.
Were you cucked?
Rule it out entirely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Were you cucked?
Probably at some point. I was cucked by the whole experience of not being able to do anything about this poop smell in my house. But it's gone now. It's fine.
It's sewage. I mean, that's just what it is. When we had it at our house, the water that was coming up from the drain out to the house to the sewer was clear water, but it's sewage water. So it's got everything mixed in there, all the poops, peas, dishwater, shower water, everything, and it's yeah.
The best thing about that though is when you go downstairs, there's no need to flush anything. You can just come right in the water, because it's not going anywhere. It's already you can just blow your load right in the water.
Oh my God! Feed the fishes.
Well, no, you're not. I mean, you're indirectly, yeah, sure, but it's going to get there anywhere, so you might as well just.
Such an unattractive sight right around my floor drain, though. So I'd have to be down there with my headset on, looking at the VR porn, jerking off into an open floor drain.
But then the smell too. That would be hard to maintain an erection,
Would it?
Probably. A cold, wet, shitty basement, but with a VR headset on, I'd be worried about my VR headset. I'd be like, I hope I don't drop this in this sewage water. I don't know.
I mean, you wouldn't need waiters you're going fly fishing or anything. You'd be on the steps and then you just
finish and head back upstairs. Yeah, I gotcha.
Exactly.
Huh.
Or just have an idea in your mind, so you wouldn't even have to take the VR. You had a sexy idea, you know what I'm saying, in your mind.
When we went through this, and maybe you did this too, but did it make you think about just how fucking temporary every little thing built by human beings is? Oh, okay, cool. So we put pipes underground for a house that'll allow all of the waste to go out to the sewer, right? Okay, cool. We got that figured out. Oh, but then trees can beat these pipes. What the fuck is going on? It just makes me think that if humans disappeared, it would take all of 8 months, and then the Earth would just be hours and reconsume every building, every electric system, piping, all that. It's all such I mean, I don't need a perfect system, but it just seems like shit is just built to break one day. You buy a water heater, this will last you about 8 years. You buy a dishwasher, oh yeah, you're going to need to replace this. Or your roofing on your house, wait, I don't know. Joe, you're a homeowner, you get it. Every time you turn around, you're God, Jesus Christ, I got to buy a new garage door opener. I got to, Everything. It
Well,
shit
water heater
breaks.
will last you way longer if you don't heat up your water.
You take cold showers? You probably should take cold showers wanting to jack off to sewage water all the time, you perv.
I didn't say I wanted to jag off.
I
to
think
that.
you want to see Kevin's balls or something after all of that.
What?
Yeah. You're
Come on,
you're rock hard right now, and you're using this podcast as like your 1-900 number, and I think it's not very Christian of you, man.
For the listeners at home, 1-900 numbers used to be numbers you could call.
That's a 37-year-old reference right there, baby.
Yeah, nobody knows what those are anymore.
No,
Is
we
there
got the
such
internet.
a thing as a 1-900 number? Yeah,
Oh, there has to be, dude. Right? That still has to be going on.
probably the Psychic Brains Network still has one, but probably not for phone sex.
Call him in now. Yeah, I don't know.
No, they still have those. Now they got the OnlyFans too. Those are probably more of the market.
And India, a lot of the calls probably go to India, so it's like a lot of sexy Indians, I think, that are handling a lot of the. I mean, those call centers. I mean, that's just you outsource that. You know, it's not a.
I think Punky was a phone sex actress.
That's disgusting. I want to throw up now. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is someone we bought weed from that had a mason jar full of mucus.
Yeah.
She was proud of the color and consistency of the mucus she had been producing while sick,
Ugh.
and stored it in a mason jar, and then showed it to us.
Yeah.
We didn't know her that well. We were just buying weed.
And we talk about it to this day. And this was 15 years ago, and it was disgusting.
So yeah.
Huh. How was the quality of the weed that this mason jar?
It was
standard
rough
weed.
back then. Yeah, it was mids, I think. There used to be a thing called mids. Kids don't know.
Yeah.
It was just, it was cheaper for the amount of weed that we were smoking. But it was, it was shake. What do you call it? Dirt weed.
Yeah. Seeds.
Compared to anything you would see today.
Lots of seeds and stems and just ugly, poor example of the species. And it was like we were in a situation. We were a bunch of college age boys, so we needed bulk. We didn't need quality. We needed like enough to fill, 2 blunts a day for a week. So it was like we need a good price and we need a lot of it. It was like the Costco of weed.
But yeah, the kind of prices we were paying, though, I think now you would be able to get like what we would have considered kind for in roughly the same amounts for what we were paying. She also wasn't like our first first choice of supplier. It used to be like hard to find weed sometimes.
Yeah,
we would be making phone calls
Yeah.
and like texting friends of friends and just trying to find anything.
No shit. There was a guy I was buying it from for a while, which was my easiest way of getting it. I mean, maybe I could have looked harder and found someone that made more sense or something. And I think, obviously, eventually I did. But like for at least 6 months, I was going down to OSU campus when I lived in Upper Arlington, and I would go to this dude's house who I did not like. He was like really passive aggressive, and he always had his guitar out, and he wanted to like jam. He knew I played guitar, so I had to every time I went to his house, I had to be there for like an hour or something. And he thought we were going to do a band, and then he thought I was flaking on him, and I was just trying to be polite, and it used to be really hard. And
You
now
should just turn him into the cops at this point and say, "Hey, this guy sells weed," and then you won't have to deal with him anymore.
That's true. But I needed his weed. You see?
No, turn him in now. You won't have to worry about it.
Oh, now.
Yeah.
I don't even know where he's at. I don't even remember his name. That's how much I hated it. I deleted the entire thing from my memory.
Feels like a Brian with a Y.
Sounds right. I actually knew a Brian with a Y that sold me weed.
What?
R.I.P. Doty. He was a good man.
Yeah, I liked him.
Sorry.
Yep.
Didn't mean to. Yep.
He spelled it
weird.
he spelled it with a Y, right, Kevin?
I think he did.
I think he did.
Joe,
you just broke my brain a little bit.
I didn't remember that he had passed until just now.
Yeah, really sad.
I knew that it happened, but that didn't sink in my Rolodex.
Yeah, we are just bouncing all around. So you got your shit basement fixed up.
Yeah.
Your house does not smell like shit anymore.
It's all good now. I can take a shower. And the other thing was that was kind of frustrating about getting it fixed was I would get these secondhand texts from my landlord with the plumber. Is like, hey, can you make sure that will you be home around 12 to 2 or something? And I like to take a walk with my dog at lunch. So I was not able to do those during all the days when the plumber was supposed to come.
That sucks.
Which ended up being 5 visits.
Yeah,
but it's all fixed now, and we'll come home tomorrow after taking a proper walk at lunch. We'll walk in the door, and it won't smell like poop.
Now, do you think the landlord listens to the podcast?
I doubt it.
Okay. Do you think he could have handled it better?
No.
Or do you have complaints? Or was it
the urgency at first was not really there in a way that I appreciated. But part of that was I could have made a bigger deal out of it.
That's true.
Whatever.
Okay.
And then once we found out that this isn't something's going on here, this is going to be more complicated than Roto-Rooter comes out for an hour. He was good about he worked all day Friday and Saturday, and I felt bad for him for being a homeowner and having to deal with shit like this.
Yeah, I've had landlords before that it'll just get put off until I call them up, and it's kind of like, hey, so I'm gonna set this up, and I'm gonna just have them send you the bill, and I actually have to do I guess it was good training for being for owning my own house, and
this is what escrow looks like.
You know
landlord.
what I mean? Well, you know what I mean. It was just we don't have hot water. Okay, this is a problem for us. Next week, that's not gonna work. We got a baby here, bro. We need to get this shit fixed way sooner than that. And it took me sitting down and calling a couple companies and being like, okay, you can come tomorrow morning. Great. Let's do that. And then I got the okay from the landlord, and he was like, oh yeah, that's fine. If you can find someone. It's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find someone. I want to get this shit fixed. We live here, we pay rent. What the fuck is going on? This is your job as a landlord is keep this place running. So I've been frustrated in the past with landlords. I'm glad it wasn't that situation with you, because that pisses me off. It's if you're gonna be a landlord, well, guess what?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice.
You don't get to just cash checks and on the property you own. You gotta come fix a gutter every once in a while.
Well, it'd be nice if they talk to you about that arrangement too. Just have it formalized. If you don't want to be a landlord who does all that shit, write it up in the lease where it's you're accepting the responsibility to book the services, and I'll give you $50 off your rent that month for doing that, or something like that.
Yeah,
just have it kind of establish what happens, so you're not. Because a lot of people are not going to go to the trouble of calling a person on their own either.
Yeah.
So
well, sometimes
nice thing to have in a contract.
I've learned in the last 10, 20 years, if you want something done, and you just gotta fucking roll those sleeves up and make it happen. Sometimes, waiting on people and going through the systems. So, it's especially if you're renting, it's just fucking go for it. They're not gonna evict you for. Obviously you can't oh yeah, I got the place re-sided. Here's a bill for whatever $6,000. What? I didn't approve this. What the fuck is going on? But whatever. You got a tub that won't drain or something like that. Fucking fix it yourself, and then charge them for the time you spent, and get it all approved in advance, or call a plumber and just take care of it and be like, well, sorry, I wanted this done, or I wanted this done quicker than what you were telling me. So, fucking landlord. Sorry, I had to vent there for a minute. Kevin's poop is gone. We got movies to watch, movies to avoid. I am so stoked to talk about a movie that just came out on Netflix. You gotta watch it whether you have a family and children or not. It's called The Mitchells versus the Machines. This is by Sony Pictures Animation. This is the same company that did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which, goddamn, it's such a good movie. it's about young Kate Mitchell. She's on her way to, she's graduating high school, and she wants to be a film student, and she gets accepted to a school for visual art and film, and she has this family that is you might describe as sort of less than perfect, and her father and her have this complex relationship, and they basically decide to cancel her plane tickets to college, and they do like a one last family road trip, and as they're suffering through this road trip together, the robot machine apocalypse kind of begins, and they have to sort of pull it together to fight through. The story's fine. I love a man versus machine conflict as much as the next guy, but what really landed it for me was the animation quality. I think for the first time in a long time, studios like Pixar and Disney are seeing some competition pop up that is like, it's like, oh, you guys are no longer the forerunners, and I think that can be said about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as well. So that's my recommendation for this episode, The Mitchells versus the Machine. Danny McBride plays the dad's voice too. Very excited about that. Abby Jacobson from Broad City, and then of course Eric Andre shows up on the cast too. So kind of not your typical family animated movie voice cast, but really liked it. Joe, have you seen this one yet, or did you see it pop up on your Netflix or anything?
I did see it pop up on Netflix. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of these animation techniques, I feel like some of this stuff goes over people's head, or they don't break it down in a way that, I mean, I draw and I make art, and so it's one of those things that when I see a movie, I mean, it could be, it's anything. I think about how it's made. I want to know the techniques, the tools, and this is a movie that, in my opinion, it stands out from anything else that you're going to see visually. The style that they use, and some of the techniques that are implemented, like they'll do 2D traditional hand animation mixed in with the 3D CGI Pixar style, animation, kind of like they did in Spider-Verse, and then on top of that, it was just funny. It was really funny. We were all cracking up the entire time. They have a teenage character, obviously, as the main character, this Kate Mitchell, and it's I've seen movies where it's kind of like a young kid in the, whatever the year is, right, 2018, 1920, some of these recent animated movies, or not animated, where it's like written by a guy that thought he was tapped into like teen culture, but it's back in like 2009. So like they're doing whatever they can to like do like WTF and LOL and stuff like that. But this is way more of kind of like a TikTok, YouTube generation where, I don't know. It's it really, I can't say enough about this movie. Really impressed me, my wife. We were cracking up. The kids loved it, and like I said, I don't think it's solely a family movie or a kid movie. I think you guys would enjoy it. Watching it with your significance or whatever. But yeah, Mitchells versus the Machines. Check it out on Netflix, streaming right now. What do you guys got? Or what do you guys? Any other movie recommendation?
I think we had a chance to talk about Soul. Saw that for the first time about a month ago now, and like really enjoyed it. I'm not sure it's a movie for kids. I guess it felt like pretty trippy and pretty grown up. And then I think I have like mixed feelings, or it seemed like there wasn't enough made of like, does the older guy sort of decides that, seems like he sort of decides life isn't worth living.
Well, it's a complicated character, right? Because he knows what he wants to do, but he's just kind of like, he's a little older and he's working at he wants to be a musician, and he is a musician, but he's teaching middle school, right? And so he kind of feels like he missed his shot and maybe never got a fair shot. Main characters played by Jamie Foxx, and then Tina Fey is sort of the like soul companion that he gets in the afterlife. And Kevin, you mentioned that it was heavy and maybe it's not for kids. We watched it with our girls, and I will say that movie was way fucking easier to watch than that movie Coco. That movie Coco was like all about the afterlife. I don't know if you saw that one.
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's about the afterlife, and it's like it's based on the Spanish tradition, Mexican tradition of the Day of the Dead, and if you're forgotten as a person on Earth, so like if all your relatives die and all that, you don't get to be in heaven anymore, and or you move on to like this other forgotten realm or some shit. So it's like you die twice if because on the Day of the Dead you got to go and you got to put offerings like at your family members' tombstones and like pictures, and you have to remember all of your relatives and all this, and so that was sort of the basis of Coco, and they have this song. It's called "Remember Me," and it comes up a couple times in the movie. I mean, my kids were completely in tears, and I'm trying to explain what happens when you die afterwards, and we're not a religious family, and so that is incredibly difficult when you don't have a Bible to lean on and say, oh yeah, everything will be fine, you'll go to heaven, and I know that because I have faith in the Lord our Savior. We watched Soul, and man, I just did a big old sigh of relief at the end of that movie, because I was like, oh my god, thank you Pixar for not having to try to convince my children they don't need to be terrified of dying, because they do.
It sounds to me like Coco was just an irresponsible movie for them to make. And,
the thing about it is it's really good. So like I do like that movie, but it's just heavy,
But not for kids, that one.
Soul was lighter than Coco. Yes.
You guys
I didn't think
watch a never-ending story like everyone else.
That's fair.
That's a thought, yeah. I didn't think it was like Soul now. I didn't think it was too dark for kids. I just thought it wasn't like there were a lot of grown-up themes. Like, maybe a kid can enjoy it, especially if you have kind of thoughtful or whatever kids. But it was really like it was existential. It was a weird, trippy kind of movie. Yeah. And so the main character, he feels like he's missed his calling, and then he gets his shot to perform with this great musician that he's admired for a long time. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be like, a real jazz musician.
Yeah.
And then he steps in a sewer or whatever, and he's supposed to die. And it's him trying to make his way back to Earth so that he can live out this dream of performing with the whoever it was.
Yeah.
But then after that, he does it, he tricks his way back into Earth, and he does the performance, and then afterwards he has this moment of total disillusionment of that wasn't that didn't do it for me, that didn't make me feel purpose. And at the same time he's trying to talk Tina Fey into she's like this kind of STEM soul, I guess you would call it. There's all these souls up in heaven or wherever that are waiting to kind of get their personalities and then get put on Earth. And she's like the problem child.
Yeah.
So each STEM soul is assigned a mentor, and the mentor kind of helps them figure out the process of getting born and all that stuff. And she's afraid to become a person. And so they're paired up, and it's him trying to convince her that yes, life is worth living and all this kind of stuff. But then I couldn't really talk myself out of that moment he had where it was all right, well, I fought so hard to come back to Earth and live this, and it's not it's not what I thought it was. So what else is there for that man then?
Yeah, it's heady in its own way for sure. And they did a lot of clever little things in that movie that like you're saying are a little mature, like only adults are going to get, like the in the zone stuff I thought was really funny. They talk about people that get too into something in their life to where they kind of shut themselves off, and they make a joke like, yeah, we had a guy in here for like 6 months who was playing Tetris or whatever. He was just zoning or whatever. But yeah, it definitely makes you scratch your head, that movie. I really enjoyed it though. And then obviously Pixar, so the animation and some of the lighting that they were implementing in that movie was, I thought, really smooth and impressive. But
yeah, overall, definitely worth seeing.
Thumbs up.
Sorry for basically spoiling it. It's been out for a while, but
you've had
didn't really give any warnings before I just explained pretty much the entire plot, but still worth watching.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 fishing poles for me.
I like it. And then speaking of animation, I took my kids and the neighbors' kids to Tom and Jerry at the movie theater. Tom and Jerry is definitely, if you're an adult, skip it. Don't watch that movie. It was so funny because I was the only one in the theater that had a gaggle of kids with me. There were several other couples that just went to go see Tom and Jerry, and I couldn't help but wonder. I was like, the fuck are you guys doing here? Like, that new Guy Ritchie movie's out, Mortal Kombat's here. Like, why did you pick... It was like an old couple. That kind of makes sense. Little nostalgia for them. Oh, yeah, I love Tom and Jerry from when I was a kid. And it's fun to see a cat beat the shit out of a mouse and vice versa. But, like, I couldn't figure out why I was the only one there with kids. Anyways, I had a conversation with my wife afterwards on the ride back. Like, man, that's the first kid movie I've seen in a long time that didn't offer up something for the adults that had to bring them to the theater. Like, that was fucking lousy. So, yeah.
So next time, take the neighbors' kids and then leave them unsupervised in the theater while you go watch a good movie.
Yeah. It's so funny. Their parents were like too happy with, hold on, what? You want to take our kids out of the house for 3 hours? Let's, that would be amazing. It was,
Joe, are you taking notes?
Are you taking notes, buddy?
All you got to do is you find a couple with a couple of kids, you offer to take them out of the house for a few hours to a movie.
We had established trust. We had established trust with them. They've been our neighbors for more than a year now. We're pretty tight. Our kids are similar ages. This will never work for Joe to just go offer a random person in his cul-de-sac, hey,
I'll do it on Craigslist.
Yeah. Maybe if he leads with that bit about your balls smelling like shit.
It wasn't my balls; it was your balls that smelled like shit.
Well, it'll be the couple's balls when you go and pitch it to them.
Hey, you guys' balls? Huh?
I noticed you have a couple small children in your backyard. Let me ask you: do your balls ever get to the point where you have to dip them in someone's face, whether they smell like shit?
I like that that's the litmus too. There's no other way to know if you have a ball shit problem.
Well, I feel like anytime you start a conversation with, hey, I noticed you had a couple children in your backyard, you should be arrested by the end of that conversation.
Not true. Not true.
Someone's not doing their job.
No, I've done it on my street before.
Really?
Yeah. I was driving my 9-year-old.
You literally said, I noticed you had some children in your backyard.
I mean, there was a comma and then more information to follow that. But yeah, I walked. We drove by their house and kids were playing, and this was picking up the 9-year-old from school, and she freaked out. Oh my God, that's my friend. I know her. I can't believe she lives there. And it was just like maybe 5 or 6 houses down. And I was like, well, okay, let's go park. And then you and I, why don't we grab the dog and we can do like a walk, and we'll walk down there. And if they're still out there, then we'll find out.
Oh, you were trying to play it cool. Like, we're walking by.
Well, I just wanted to get the dog, mostly so that I could like two-bird it, you know what I mean? Get the
Was
dog.
this Brendan? Sounds like a Brendan move.
No, this was a girlfriend of hers. And
Fucking hate Brendan.
well, what was funny though is I rolled up to the house and thank
Alicia?
God.
Was it Alicia?
No, Charlotte was the kid's name.
What a fucking cunt.
Come on, man. I
Slit. Now in the year 2020.
So I walk up to the house and we get to the house and the kids they're not around anymore. I was like, sorry kiddo. It seems like they're inside now or whatever. She's like, can I go knock on their door? I'm like, yeah, run up there and knock on the door. And she does. And she's a sweetheart. She's like, hey, my name's, the 9-year-old. And, does Charlotte live here? And the mom was there, and she came out and chatted with us. She's like, no, that's not my kid or the neighbor that they're playing with or anybody. I'm like, oh. Yeah, so it was awkward. And I was like, oh, sorry. And I talked to her, I met her. I was like, hey, we live just a few houses down. We always see you guys out here playing around. I noticed that you had kids in your backyard, and my daughter thought it was a friend of hers, but it's not. And so then my daughter, she's so social, she's like, hey Dad, do you think I could play anyway? And I'm like, well, I looked at the mom, I was like, we've met now, they seem to be similar ages, would that be okay if they hung out and played on your trampoline? And it worked out. They played for like a half hour, 45 minutes, and I chatted with the mom and everything worked out.
So where was Charlotte?
No one knows.
I thought this was going to be a missing kid situation.
No, I'm just saying that you can pull off the, hey, I noticed you had kids in your backyard.
Yeah, but you already have to have one kid to do that.
And I had
you can't just drive around in your van and be like, hey pal, she got kids.
Yeah. No, what you should do, Joe, you should get like a real doll or something, a child real doll. I guess you already have one. You set that up in your car in the front seat. Oh no, bike just fell over.
Bike down.
Yeah, you set the real doll up in your front seat, and then you go have the conversation with the mom, and you just point to the kid to verify. Look, I have a kid. You can see.
You see her hair there. And her arms and her legs and stuff. You see her face.
I noticed when you opened your door, it didn't smell a lot like shit. But just to be sure, I think that everyone here with balls should have them sniffed.
Yeah. I noticed when you opened your door, ma'am, it didn't sound like you had an alarm company. Is that true? Can I confirm that? There's not a man at the house? Okay.
I'm coming in.
Name?
Yeah. Oh, Joe, that would be so scary. You would be such a perfect killer.
Hello. Welcome.
Yeah.
Would you like an ice cream cone or your death?
Oh, my God. I get the chills thinking
Can be
about
both.
it. Yeah. It reminds me of like...
Give me a drumstick.
You wouldn't even give him the real drumsticks. You would still buy like store brand, even before you're going to kill someone.
I would still collect their $3 too.
This is true. And then you would still insist that you could smell their balls or something? I don't know. You're a twisted guy.
No, Kevin is the ball smeller over here.
No, you brought up all of this about smelling balls.
I just thought Kevin might have had smelly balls, and that was his
And it smelled his whole house up?
He works out a lot. I don't know what he does.
Yeah, but people who work out take a lot of showers.
That's true.
They probably take more showers than people who don't work out.
That's makes me think about a conversation we had in the past about, how many showers were taken and, like... It's so... we got a super shark joining. But it makes me think about how I shower every day now, and it's, like, kind of annoying. I mean, but I have to do it because of that house-filling shitty balls smell. Like... I feel like I have a vagina. I don't know if that's an old age thing, but like if this dick and these balls don't get cleaned up after working out and I let them go 24 hours and shower the next day, you don't want this. It's not good. And it doesn't take me dipping them into anyone's face. I can like take a pee and be like, "Oh, it smells like balls in here." It's disgusting.
What an adult you are, John.
No, I'm growing up. I'm growing up is what I'm trying to say. This is a coming of age tale.
I smell my own balls. I'm such an adult.
It's another. They need to include that in the advertisement for the new Apple Watch. It's like list all the features and all the benefits, and it's like also you're gonna need to start showering a lot more. Super Shark joining us in Discord. Hello,
gentlemen.
I gotta turn you way up on the audio, and anything you can do on your end gain wise would be appreciated. Hello.
I'm just on the AirPods right now.
Nope, I got you now, loud and clear. We already talked about Demio. How much fun did you have last night?
I'll give you a minute. I think it's one of the most pioneering games I've played in a long time. It's fucking awesome.
You didn't even need a minute. I mean, you enjoyed yourself. It sounds like, yeah.
How many tickets did you buy your mother for Genesis, though, Joel?
What do you mean? How many tickets?
Did you buy your mom?
So it sounds like zero is the answer. So
well, give him a minute. Did you buy any?
Okay.
Did you buy any Genesis concert tickets for Patricia for Mother's Day? Is what Joe is asking.
Was I supposed to?
I don't know.
Yeah, you were. Didn't you get the memo?
No, I'd rather just play Rock Band with her, and you just let the drummer sing, and then that's a Genesis concert.
No.
There you go.
You're no son of mine.
I'm player 2 and 4 right now. This is great.
We talked about this last time. Are you going to go see Genesis?
It's the most he's ever spent on a concert ticket, Joel. Would you like to guess how much he spent?
$464.
For how many tickets?
Oh,
for 2 tickets.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, he would have won. I think the real answer was like 410, but...
410 for 2, yeah.
But I won because I said 4, but it's good.
No, you said 5, I thought. You said 5.
I don't remember what he said, but...
I may have said 5. Joel wins. Points on the board. Battle of the
Points on the board.
Also, Joel, have you ever dipped your balls into someone's face and then them tell you that they smell like shit? Just trying to catch you up on the whole podcast right now.
I put my balls on someone's face. There's a maneuver called the Gonzo maneuver, where if someone's laying down and you stand at their head, you stretch the scrot over their face, and then your dick will line up with their nose, making them look like Gonzo from the Muppet Show.
Is that sexual, though? Like, if you're stretching your balls out at any point, are you maintaining an erection? Like, do you still want to have sex with that vagina? Or are you just,
I think for
fucking
the
around?
It would be Gonzo if he had an erection.
Yeah, I don't think you want an erection for a Gonzo.
No, Gonzo's nose is never erect, Joe. You should know this. I'm pretty sure you have the action figure.
No, sometimes it is if he's the great Gonzo and he gets, like...
They've never done that. They've never done that. That would be illegal. The FCC would shut that down way before that airs.
It's not an erection, but there are times when his nose is cold, and it definitely is like, it's not a jag-off maneuver, but it's definitely...
I have a question. Is Gonzo a housefly? Is that what he is? What is he?
I don't know.
He's a weirdo. His
right?
class is a weirdo, I think.
I mean, that's like asking...
That's
like asking what is Grover? You know what I mean? Like,
right? They're monsters.
They're just Muppets. Yeah.
Well, no, Gonzo specifically says he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right. What else, Joel? Have you ever had any? Have you ever had any water backup in a basement anywhere you've ever lived?
Yes. On the day before we were supposed to leave Ohio, I had 2 feet of water in my basement. And
was
I
it
had a bunch
sewage or was it just water?
No, the sump pump stopped working,
okay.
So it was rainwater.
Okay.
It was actually, it was very clear. I remember it was clear. It looked like
sewage
something...
can be clear. We established that.
Really?
Yeah.
If you get a good run.
I guess it's a lot of it's drainage too, so it's not all shit and piss and tampons and babies.
and babies. It all mixes together. Joel, did you see any good movies that you'd like to recommend to anyone this week? Our recommendations Our recommendations so far were Soul, The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Fuck yeah!
And I think Joe said something about what'd you say? Angels in the Outfield. Joe, was that yours?
No, I think when I didn't get to say. I said I had one not to see, which is Monster Hunter, starring Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich.
Agree with that? Well, let's talk about that. I saw that movie, and that movie sucks.
My wife watched that alone. I was like, "What did you do that for?" That seems like a movie I would talk you into watching.
No, so it seems like a movie that if you love the Resident Evil series because it is written and directed by that guy and stars her, you'll love this one, but it's not. It's just, there's just so much going on there, and then, just don't watch it. It's not super discussable.
Is it based on the video game franchise?
I guess.
Okay.
Yes. But it's the only difference is it's a military unit that gets like pulled into this weird world of talking cats and giant monsters.
Zero redeeming qualities to this movie is what we're saying.
It may hold up differently in 20 years, but I don't think it. I got a pretty good nose for that stuff.
I think it'll be forgotten. Yeah.
I'd rather rewatch the first Resident Evil movie if I had my druthers. Yeah.
It's like
with
sometimes
the Red Queen.
What's that?
The original Resident Evil. Yeah.
Yeah. Starring
You're all
Mila
going to die down here.
Yeah.
You're going to die down here, I say.
Now that was actually something we watched recently too. This week, the Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil movie. I think
Did you guys talk about it?
I think it still kind of holds up. I don't think it's bad.
Did you guys talk about video games? I guess you did. Demio?
Oh yeah,
you talked about it.
Yeah, we talked hard about that. Get the gold, baby. Get the gold.
Get the gold. I played the Resident Evil Village demo,
which that has since released. Yeah, are you going to buy it?
I'm going to get it when it's on sale. It's super fun.
Wait for a sale.
It's only a 10-hour game.
Yeah.
How are there this many Resident Evil games still happening? Like, we're up to 7 and then a new village. Like, what's still going on in the world of Resident Evil?
I think they just take you through different stories now. I don't know how they all connect or even.
No, they're all connected.
Okay.
Yeah, they all used to be like, okay, you're Leon, you're Ada,
Claire. Yeah.
Chris Redfield is one of the characters in this new one.
Oh, okay.
Nice. But why? But how? But it seems like they should have figured him out a long time ago and either killed him or he kills the Umbrella Corporation.
Ramrod bouncing out. Thanks for hanging out, Ramrod. We love you, buddy.
I think somewhere
that's Bubby,
around.
right?
It is?
I think so. I think it's Rod.
Oh,
anyways, go ahead, Joel. Sorry.
I think somewhere around Resident Evil 6, they realized there was a bigger bad guy than the Umbrella Corporation.
Okay.
I'm glad it took them 6 games to figure that out.
Yeah.
That's how many Jasons it took before he had supernatural zombie powers.
Yeah, good point.
Got to go somewhere with it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's cool. There's werewolves, and there's a giant 9-foot
lady.
Amazing boobed vampire lady, yeah.
Yeah. Why is she so tall?
I think she has, like, a pituitary problem.
T-virus.
Like Andre the Giant.
like Clancy Brown.
You know what Kevin says? Those giants, man, they don't live long. So I bet you could just wait her out in the game, and she'll probably pass from old age.
Yeah, that was the bummer about giants. Except the biblical giants lived to be like 600 years old.
A lot of crazy.
Everyone lived to be 600.
Yeah.
Joel, you seem like you'd be a Sonya Blade player in the first Mortal Kombat. Is that correct? Or
well, because I can do the splits and punch you in the dick, I had to play as her. I felt obligated.
And then did you go to Jax and MK2 in sympathy?
A lot of my friends who are new to the game took to Jax, so it kind of put some stink on him. I didn't pick him up until way later. I was more of a Cabal guy back in the Ultimate.
Well, that was
Championship
MK3,
days.
so you What were you in MK2?
A
Sub-Zero, I bet.
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Whichever is the character that's going to piss you off the most is usually who I gravitate towards.
Sub-Zero, sure, yeah. Cabal is definitely piss-off worthy in 3. I can see it.
I like E Honda in Street Fighter 2.
Oh, yeah. I do that to John all the time, the 100-hand slap.
Yeah, they actually made a joke on Joe's playstyle in the 2021 Mortal Kombat movie, where Kano is fighting, I think, Liu Kang. Is that the hat guy?
Kung Lao.
Thank you. And he keeps doing this like leg sweep, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? You're just gonna do the same move every time?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like elbowing Joe. I'm like, "Yeah, that's fucking you, man." Like he literally did that before we went into the movie.
I mean, if you're not gonna block it, you're just I'm gonna spam that move.
I do block it. I just don't have a better move to spam back. So you know,
here's
a shit strategy
to think of. Our entire generation of video game players all knows how to do a perfect leg sweep because of Mortal Kombat. Like, it taught us how to do a fucking perfect leg sweep.
Yeah, I'll sweep.
I do one every day. On some situation.
I'll sweep the leg, yeah.
John, when you played soccer, you had a fatality slide kick that you would do from like 30 yards away. And it was like watching the Beatles on stage for the first time.
Yeah, I could fuck your son up big time in soccer. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't very good at ball handling or shooting, so I played defense, and my move was...
you were the killer.
Yeah, we just slide tackle you dead on, which is a legal move as long as you play the ball. And it was more than a couple times that...
You got carded.
I didn't get carded. It was like everyone sit down on the field while we... see if this kid is going to live or whatever, and like an ambulance would be there.
You were a soccer goon?
I was a soccer goon. You got it, man.
Yeah, soccer goon.
Wow, is that a real term? Oh, wow.
We had a real stressful home situation growing up, so I had to get it out somewhere. I had to release the darkness. Well, thanks for showing up, Joel. It's the end of our podcast. PCRN, episode 185. We do it every week, folks. We hope you're having fun with it. Joel, we want you for the full ep next week, brah, so we can share more Demio stories.
Are we not playing a game? I thought we were playing a game.
Joe, it's over, bud.
God damn it.
You spent 45 minutes talking about shitty balls, man.
Fuck.
This is on you. You made your bed, now you have to shit in it.
Oh, I'll shit in it.
John,
I'll shit in my bed, all right.
Do you wipe back to front? Is that why your balls smell that way?
No, I think I just have like old, like natural, like musty, like old man balls after I sweat a lot. It's a sweat thing, you know what I mean? Like
your body's decomposing a little bit down there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all start decomposing and falling apart and shrinking. I think it's like the age 30, your bone pressure lowers and everything just starts to fall apart.
What's the worst smelling thing
Sometimes
you can
lose all
imagine?
your hair. What's that?
What's the worst smelling thing you can imagine?
I really hate the smell of cat urine, and then I assume like a dead body in an apartment for like 2 weeks in the summer. Ooh. And discovering that, I think that would probably be pretty unbearable.
I was going to say just taking a cast off would be smelly as fuck.
Taking a cast off. That wrinkly skin underneath, all your muscles have deteriorated. I did that. I had to remove a cast. I wore one for like 2 or 3 months, and that was pretty gross when they took it off, yeah.
I think when Morgan Freeman found the dead fat guy in Seven, I think that smelled really bad.
Yeah. Definitely, because they never do it in movies, but dead people shit and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they release
shit,
everything,
piss, and throw up.
So it'd be like shit, and then also rotting flesh. Ugh.
Yeah, that's bad. I think the worst smelling thing I could think of though would be a zombie's vagina.
Why would the zombie's vagina be so terribly smelly? It hasn't been touched in so long.
That's what you think makes a vagina smell the way a vagina smells, Joe? Is how much?
I think there's yeast involved.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
So if it's just like rotting flesh, I think that's just going to smell like the rest of the zombie.
Listen, let's wrap this up.
Yeah,
Are we going to hop on Vimeo?
Yeah, I think we should.
After this?
I think we should.
Yeah, I'm ready right now.
Okay. Let's close it out here. We hope you guys enjoyed yourselves listening. Talk to a friend, share the episode with a friend if you guys are having a good time. Join us live on Sundays. I can't guarantee the time right now, but we do go live on Twitch. Real podcast right now on Twitch.
R.I.P. to our friend Carl. Rest in pussy. He's getting so much cunt right now.
Well, Joe,
with a solid dick.
You don't have to be so vulgar. I think we can count.
Gonzo knows.
I think you can count.
Gonzo knows.
I think you can count on Carl being back next week. We miss him. We wish him the best. Joel, thanks.
Maybe. I mean, he's probably just rubbing his face in a clitoris right now.
I heard he's hanging out with his family right now. He messaged us. He's hanging out with his family.
I didn't say that he wasn't. I'm just saying he's rubbing his face in a clitoris right now.
Okay, I see it. I thought he had died in a car crash, and this was not going to age well.
No, I know. I was concerned too because he doesn't usually do this. That's a Joe Gazzaro move to just sort of. Now you see me, now you don't. Magic Man. Love you boys. Thanks for chatting. That was fun. Everybody be safe out there. We will see you next week. Episode 186 next Sunday. And as we inch our way closer to 200, our final episode. Ooh, what will happen? Ooh. Be safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Wash your balls. And have a good rest of your whatever. Bye. Podcast right now.
Cuts.
Joe. So vulgar.
Right now.
I'm on the PTO, man.